everybody.
Hello. Did that background just change?
What?
Never mind. I might be seeing things. Anyway.
I mean, I have my beautiful red.
No, the purple behind us, I swear, it just flashed from the default to our branded one. Oh well. Doesn't matter.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's lots going on with Restream and stuff, and so who knows?
Yeah.
So, how are you? And your name isn't Michelle, and it says Michelle and not Krista. So
it sure isn't. I'm gonna fix that right now. Why don't you?
And I'm going to say that I'm Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and I am so glad that you have joined us today for Shockingly Delightful. We have a cool topic that we're going to discuss and have some fun with it. And who might you be?
Hi, I'm Krista with Wicked Wisdom Consulting. I am a fractional COO and ops consultant, namely Michelle's ops consultant COO. Help her out with everything, but we are co-hosts of Shockingly Delightful.
And we do this because this is more of our light-hearted, fun, and also quirky and sometimes conspiracy. This is just our time to have some fun with our viewers. And let us know, by the way, that you're here because there are a lot of different platforms that this goes out to, and we don't always know who is watching, who's listening. So let us know that you're here. Comment. Try to make us laugh. This is all.
Go easy on that. I'm right on the edge of a giggle fit today, as it was. That's why we're a couple minutes late.
Oh my gosh! I dare anybody, if you make her giggle and laugh, there may be a session with Moksha Grace Coaching in it for you.
You also may not get the rest of the episode because once I go off, I'm not sure that I'm going to stop. But anyway.
Anywho, all right. Well, thank you all for being here. And today we are talking about
give thanks for those at your table.
Do you know the difference? And thank you, Steve and group with the Spirit Mechanics for talking about this the other day because it made me think the difference between being grateful and thankful. And I was like, I have to think about that. Would you like me to tell you?
Not yet. I'm still thinking about it. Hello to whoever's joining us.
Yes, and please make sure you also share this out to people that you feel need to be in more of a grateful or thankful state and could use a little lighthearted fun today.
And right now we're trying to, Michelle has posed the question, what is the difference between being thankful and being grateful? And I'm trying to come up with something.
There's a lot of time while you're thinking, there's a lot of times where people are like, oh, write down 10 things you're thankful for or grateful for. And it becomes a chore. It becomes a task that you get to check off. But is that truly the right way of doing it?
I feel like the only thing I can come up with is, I feel like thankful requires another party to be involved, and gratitude is regardless of a third party or secondary party. So I feel like I wouldn't say, but that's tough because I feel like I've even said I'm thankful that I feel like we can interchange easily. I'm thankful that the sun rose today. I'm grateful that, but they do feel distinctly different energetically.
Well, and I for a lot of times will say I love, right? Like I love this or I love that. And to me, that feels the same too. But interestingly enough, what the definition that I found is, and I thought it was pretty good because I found a few. What did I ask? Oh, great gratitude versus thankful. And so gratitude is a state of being and a more profound emotion than thankfulness, which is an expression of that state. Gratitude is a mindset that's rooted in awareness, acceptance, and compassion. It's a feeling of appreciation for what you have and can be a lasting emotion that arises from reflecting on many things. Gratitude can also honor and accommodate difficult feelings.
Whereas thankful is what?
So gratitude is a more lasting emotion that arises from reflecting on the many things that you're thankful for. So the reason why I do the thankful train is so every day someone that's participating, riding on the thankful train, is bringing in those things that they're identifying as, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for this. And it brings about a state of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would be the difference.
I guess that makes sense. It also, hey Adam, how you doing? It also, I feel like would, you can be, I guess, let me back. I feel like that's a good distinction between when people are doing a gratitude exercise and they're just writing stuff down to write it down. I feel like that would still qualify as thankful, but gratitude is when you actually feel the emotion and the energy with it.
Boom.
Nailed
Yes.
it.
So being thankful really means the happy or grateful because of something. I was thankful that the meeting didn't last long with that. That's a horrible example.
It's relatable to people, though. I get it.
Gratitude is an emotion and a state of appreciation for the positive things in life, and thankful is more of a specific. What are you thankful for? And then all of those thankful fors creates that state of gratitude.
Interesting. What an interesting distinction.
Right. Because there's so many times you think that they're interchangeable.
But at the same time, there definitely is a distinct energetic signature because, like, I more commonly, I think, say to people, no. I was gonna say I more commonly say to someone like I'm thankful for you, but actually I do more often say I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that we're having this conversation. I'm grateful for your friendship. I'm grateful for whatever it is. Way more than thankful. Thankful almost has like a I mean, yeah, it's not as significant as gratitude is.
For me, it's almost like thankful comes after an action or something.
Right. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying, where it almost feels like it needs that secondary or third party to be involved for thankful.
Or something to happen, right?
Yeah.
So,
or maybe we could even go on and say thankful is, I'll phrase it as earthbound, where gratitude is more connecting with the divine.
Yeah, I would say that that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And also I know that one of the things that for those that are into Faye, saying thankful, like thank you, is more of a completion. It almost sounds like whatever is done and finished versus I'm so grateful that you're here, which is more of a longer lasting. So I thought that's interesting too when you think about it in that way. Because when you say thank you to somebody, it's usually after it proceeds, right?
Oh, well, I think that is a fantastic distinction. The thankful comes after, the gratitude comes before.
Right.
Or the gratitude is all encompassing, where thankful is specifically after the fact. I mean, semantically, we could say you can say
it could go either way.
Right. That's interesting. Because also, in Ho'oponopono, it's thank you, not like I'm grateful. But that might just be a harmony type of thing.
And what is Ho'oponopono for those that don't know?
I've actually been humming it all morning. Fun fact, thank you to Michelle, sending me a little screenshot. humming actually helps relieve anxiety, which then upon looking it up is because it triggers or it stimulates your vagus nerve, which helps relieve your nervous system. But Ho'oponopono is a beautiful, would you consider it a hymn? What's considered a hymn?
It's a it's a
it's a saying. There's actually some incredible science and actual kind of like real world application to support it. What'd you find?
So hymn, a religious song or poem of praise to God or a god.
Okay, so I guess it's not technically a hymn because it's not religious in any way. But I just feel like hymn typically has that like really beautiful melodic flow to it, which this I think does. And there's beautiful, beautiful renditions of it on YouTube. But it's basically, hold on, let me think of you can say it in whatever order feels right to you. But the way that I say it is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. So you could say that in various different orders, but that's the way that feels best to me, probably because my favorite musical rendition is that order. But it basically has been shown that those who say that to themselves and they sing it and they practice that, their emotions get better regulated. They release anger more easily. They forgive more easily and quicker. And there's just a whole like huge thing. There's a bunch of positive benefits that come from it.
So Ho'oponopono can be regarded as a miracle healing element. It is considered a prayer where the one practicing is responsible for his own emotions, feelings, and life experiences. I'm going to read that again because so many people push back when you first find out about Ho'oponopono because you're like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
And forgive me for what?
Right. I don't need So I will read that again. Ho'oponopono can be regarded as a miracle healing element where the one practicing is responsible for his or her own emotions, feelings, and life experiences. The concept of exterior world affecting one's life and decisions is a concept that is alien to this prayer and healing technique. In other words, it doesn't happen outside of you, it happens within you. You're forgiving, and so this is and I might butcher it a little bit, but part of a part of the shack when the figure that is playing.
Wait, hold on. That's a book. You're jumping.
Yeah, sorry. The Shack. It's a movie. It's a book. If you have not seen it or read it, either one is amazing. Do it for yourself. But in one section, Papa, as he calls God or his wife calls God, says that forgiveness. Didn't want to get emotional there for a second. Hold on.
I knew it.
Forgiveness is not about letting the person off scot-free. It's about taking your hand off of their throat. Because it is not your place to put your hand on their throat.
I would almost even argue it's more of us choking ourselves.
And exactly, because that's what we're doing. Is that we are choking ourselves. And so when we forgive, we're forgiving for ourselves so that we're releasing that choking of the other person and allowing ourselves to be more of a state in gratitude and being thankful for what is in front of us, not what some person or something did to us.
Yeah.
So, wow, we're just like, this is like not heavy, but this is like cool, heavy stuff.
I mean, we're talking about gratitude. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So,
how did we get to Ho'oponopono?
Ho'oponopono comes from Hawaii.
No, how did we in our conversation get to What were we
Oh,
talking about?
you mentioned it because we were talking about being in a state of gratitude, and then you brought up humming, talk and humming Ho'oponopono all morning.
How did I connect that to gratitude?
Well,
Anyway.
because it brings you into that healing feelings because you're being
Right.
thankful, right? And yeah.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. Is in Ho'oponopono the thank you part in Ho'oponopono? That's where it is. Thank you. Oh, that was driving me crazy. Um, but yeah, Ho'oponopono can be really powerful, very, very powerful for healing, to connect you with the divine, to help
Mhm.
forgive, to be in a state of gratitude. I mean, you name it. It's really remarkable.
They
And
do.
hold on real quick. I'm sorry. And if you look it up, because I'm gonna butcher the story, but if you look up Ho'oponopono, you'll actually find I don't know if it's the original story, but it relates to, I can't recall if it was a prison or a psychiatric hospital, but basically when the doctors started doing Ho'oponopono with either the prisoners or patients, I mean,
Mhm.
ironically, we could probably call them the same, one and the same. They actually saw massive improvement, and they actually had to close the facility down because everybody literally healed.
Interesting. The NIH, interesting, right? The National Health Organization.
That would be National Institute of Health
What did
Care.
I say?
I don't. I think you said National
National
Health
Health
Care.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
National Institute of Healthcare. Yeah. Um, uh, there is an abstract, there's a whole paper that highlights the lessons learned when using
Mm.
uh, alternative medicine and therapies, but they they did a whole study on Ho'oponopono
Hmm.
and the benefits of Ho'oponopono. Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
It really is. Let me see if I can actually, because I feel like anyone watching is gonna be like, "What are you saying?" So it's ho.
Can we play a part of it? I don't. We probably can't, right?
Not usually. Wait, say it now. I'm messing up my syllables.
Ho,
Ho'oponopono.
Ho,
I know.
apostrophe,
Oh no, is it two P's or one P?
ho, Ho'Oponopono.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna put that in the comments if you're interested in looking it up. Um, Hopefully it posts where you're watching. But there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I can put it on the captions. Anyway, go on.
And Dr. Hugh Len is somebody that really brought it to the forefront with not Dispenza, but oh God, his name's Joe too. Um,
We're just looking up everything today.
hey, this is why we have Joe Vitale. Zero Limits is the book if you want to read it, and
Oh,
it's a
that is a great book.
secret, right? A secret Hawaiian system for wealth, health, peace, and more. And he talks about how they literally put people in a city. It was a lower income city, and they put a ton of people in these like different apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like 100. I don't know the exact number. And they were just doing Ho'oponopono in this inner city, and all of a sudden they didn't talk to people about it, they just did it in the apartment in the city, and the city itself started changing. The people in the city started doing more for themselves, they started helping each other more. There
Crime
was
probably went down.
crime went down at like things started to change, and same with the prison study. No one went to the prisoners and said it to the prisoner in their face. They
Oh, they didn't? I
actually,
thought they did it with them.
no, the
Oh.
person sat there with a file of
See, I
people's
told you I was gonna butcher it.
pictures, and names, and the person would say the
Right.
name and look at the picture,
Yes.
do the Ho'oponopono prayer for each person every day for like a month or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden the fights went down, the prisoners started again helping each other, learning, they were changing, just so many amazing things can happen. You're out that frequency. And that's really what gratitude is it's a frequency, it's a higher frequency.
Yeah.
So when you send that out, you're going to get more to be grateful for, number one, but you're also going to just be in a better frame of mind, a better frame of frequency, vibration, just everything.
And I think it's interesting too that something like Ho'oponopono, that is such a mouthful, can have such a profound effect, the profound effect that it does. And yet there are some who follow certain religions that have been taught that it is somehow not okay, or it's not positive, or it goes against their religion. And that kind of thing is where my heart breaks a little bit, because it just shows how powerful religion can be if it's used in a negative light. Because how can something that so profoundly heals somebody and others, how in any way, shape, or form can that be a negative thing? My brain just can't connect those dots.
Who I've never even heard that. Like, who
Yeah, you
thinks
did.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't believe in it?
We went to play a YouTube video.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will say that was a specific video that had a certain sound to it. It
Interesting.
was the more folky one. It wasn't, because there's many versions on YouTube for anyone that wants to go look it up, and it will tell you the whole story, which is super cool. And the lyrics will be there, which, I mean, there's only four like sentences, but it'll tell you some of the background as you're singing it or listening to it. You can have it just playing in the background, because you're going to absorb it. The one I happen to like is very folksy, like folk art music.
The
A
one with
little,
a couple of people in the picture?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's the
just
one I like.
more modern. I think it's a little bit more modern, a little bit more hip, if you want to say hip, but it
This
just kind
is
of
the
resonates.
version that we will listen to often.
Yeah.
This version here. This one is very nice to play in the background while you're sleeping. It's not music based, so it's just a guy saying it very slowly and softly. So it's great to listen to while you're sleeping, because that's another another amazing thing to is
Mhm.
listening to things like this while you're sleeping, and because your subconscious is constantly picking things up, whether you are physically like thinking about it or not.
Can
And
we
so that's
play like 10 seconds of it?
yeah, I can play a couple seconds. Oh wait, hold on. You probably can't hear it. Let me stop and reshare.
I didn't know if we're allowed to play
I
any.
think it's like up to. Um,
I mean, I can sing it. If
let's not.
anybody wanted to hear me sing it.
Can you hear it?
I love you.
Very low.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so that's meant for sleep. So it's going to be. I'll play a little bit of this one. It's fucking rocking.
Okay, skip to the word part.
Please forgive me.
Okay, I don't want it.
And thank you.
Okay, hold on.
Oh gosh, we're gonna get tagged.
I know.
Turn it off. We're gonna get tagged. They're gonna
Okay,
pull
but
us
also
down.
the stop sharing button moved to the top on that one instead of the bottom. So I'm like, wait, am I sharing? Am I
Oh my goodness.
anyway? So those are two versions of Ho'oponopono that we enjoy. But yeah, and you know, listening to stuff like the first one I was playing while you're sleeping, you can do the same thing with gratitude affirmations and gratitude videos. Because the power, gratitude, correct me if I'm wrong, but gratitude is the top of the frequencies. Like top of the top, maybe equal, like love and gratitude might be equal, but
Pull up my emotional guidance scale. So the thing is that as you are doing your grateful practice, right? if you can't think of what you're grateful for, and some people are in just a very bad, they're in bad shape. And so they're not necessarily like, I don't have anything to be grateful for. They can't fathom it at the moment because they're just not there, right? They're not feeling blessed. And so how can you have gratitude if you're go down into the lower, if you're more in the lower states, right? You're angry and you might be jealous, or you're insecure, you're in grief.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you, especially grief and desperation or depression or unworthiness, how do you feel grateful? And so then that's when we take a step back and go, okay, let's just look at some things that you love, or let's look at some things that you are thankful for. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's easier. So when you have your tally of the things you're thankful for, you then bring in the state of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying, I'm thankful for, and in the thankful train that we've been doing in the Facebook group that I have, I've just been putting some prompts. And today's was, what are you thankful for that happened over the weekend? And, and you had mentioned we got out of our Christmas stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that we have all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's a big old mess that I'm sitting looking at on the back patio, I'm thankful that there's been 40 years of
Mm-hmm.
memories that are all in there of you guys making stuff, of us making that stuff together, the painting of the ornaments. Even when you were in the hospital, we
Yeah.
had ornaments, and my mom and your aunt and like all these people brought like paints and crafts and
Mm-hmm.
things that we would
Those
do.
are still some of my favorite ornaments, are the ones we made
Yeah.
when I was going through treatment.
And I didn't have time to go shopping, so we literally painted our butts off, and we gave those out like sets of 3 to 6
Mm-hmm.
to everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are people that still have them, and they still put them on their tree every year. It's like a sign
Yeah.
of their hope. And I think that's so cool. And, when you are giving away gifts, do you want to give away something that someone's going to use and get rid of, or, it's going to go out of style, or something that they're going to hold on to and treasure,
Mm-hmm.
and find years later and go, oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
And so being thankful for all of that, right? And then thinking about, even looking around, what are you thankful around that's surrounding you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you thankful about the internet for?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big one. I remember the first time I did that prompt, because I was like, what a great thing to think about, because normally we're like, oh, the internet's bad, this is it. Why don't we look at the positives?
Mm-hmm.
The internet, I can type in Ho'oponopono and I can pull it up.
Yeah.
We can all pray together or meditate together,
Yeah.
or get on a Zoom and all talk, right? Like we're doing, and spread joy, spread happiness, spread gratefulness and
Mm-hmm.
thankfulness.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I realized that, and I know I told you this story, I would write my thankfuls. I was very diligent. I had my practice, my routine,
Mm-hmm.
my 10 thankfuls. I'm thankful for my pillow. I'm thankful for my bed. I'm thankful for my dogs. I love my family.
Yeah.
Go through all that. But when you pick one thing, and that's what I did one day, because I was like bored of all the other stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm thankful for the first dance at my wedding, and I wrote out all of that. Like I wrote out the whole thing of how it happened, the electricity going out,
Mm-hmm.
friends that were singing for us so we could keep dancing, that everybody else disappeared and it was just the two of us dancing, even though we were surrounded by 120 people.
That we've got it on tape and can watch it still to this day.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that. And so I could feel it rising.
Mm-hmm.
And still, I get goosebumps when I think about it. And I could feel it rising up in me. That's gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Being thankful for the moment, but feeling the gratitude within the moment coming up.
Yeah.
That's when you know that you're in gratitude.
And that's why it's important to not just write stuff down, but also feel it.
Right.
And I want to touch on something else, kind of going on a little bit of a turn here, but I feel like more and more these days, the last few years in particular, I feel like we're hearing more and more about like, well, Thanksgiving, the original Thanksgiving was actually a horrible, massacre, and so we shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving. Or, well, Christmas has become so, commercialized that we shouldn't even bother. Or, or, or you look at Thanksgiving as a day to really dive into gratitude, which ties into the name of today's episode. Really sit with those that are showing up this year that you are going to have dinner with. Really sit with them and talk to them. Not just listen, not just talk to talk, but actually have a deep conversation with them. Listen more than you're talking. Enjoy their presence. Take a second to look around and go, wow, I am so grateful that everyone is here that's here. I am so grateful for my dogs, even though they jumped on the table and stole a piece of turkey. I am so grateful that I know how to cook, even though the cranberries spilled over, as they do every year. Can't help it. And really take the time to look at that. Just same thing with Christmas. Instead of looking at it as this, commercialized, materialistic holiday, look at it for what it's supposed to be. Or what it can be. A time to get together for family, a time to do things together. We just went to Michael's yesterday and bought a bunch of craft stuff, and we still have multiple craft stuff activities from last year that we haven't done yet. But our sort of vibe this year, and as everyone in the family's gotten older, has been, how can we embrace the time together? Usually winter is when people slow down. You have a little bit more leeway with time off, things like that. Take advantage of that.
Right.
If you don't want to focus on the commercialized, materialistic side of Christmas. It doesn't have to be that. Every holiday, every day is what we make it. So you have that choice. You can focus on the materialistic side, or you can look at it and focus on the gratitude side.
Yeah.
Bringing us back to gratitude.
I saw something the other day and it was a great idea. You know how grocery stores have the buy one, get one free? Mm-hmm. Instead of taking the free part home, give it to somebody that you see.
Love that.
That is either in front of you or in another aisle that may seem like they're struggling. If
you should probably buy it first, though.
Well, yes.
Otherwise, you're just putting it in their cart.
Yes. No, buy the buy one, get one free. And then say, you know what? I can't use all of this. Mm-hmm. I want you to have this. Yeah. Enjoy. And it's, if you're not going to go to...
or, real quick, if you don't like that kind of direct interaction, do that for the next month and donate a big thing of buy one, get ones to a local shelter or a local family or whatever it is. There's a ton of buy nothing giveaway, I think is how they call it, or sell nothing, local groups that you can find on Facebook and stuff, where people are saying, hey, I need a crib, or I need towels. Well, that would be weird. Blankets, things like that they'll come and pick it up. So that way you don't have to throw it out. Same sort of concept.
Well, and it's winter. It's going to be winter.
Hey, we're getting a cold front this week. We're going to be, hold your breath, 73 as our high. So
it's got to break 70 for me to get my boots out.
Nah, 73 is enough for my turtleneck.
But where it is cold, the towels that you were talking about. So as you are getting Christmas presents, holiday presents, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, think about the things that you're going to be tossing out that you don't use anymore. And you can, bring it to shelters, but also remember animal shelters.
I was just going to say, speaking from direct personal experience, we go through so many towels with all the different animals that we have here. So many towels. So like if listen, I got towels as a Christmas gift last year, made my entire Christmas because I've been needing a new set of towels, got them. And the old ones then have been used all year long for the different animal situations that we've had.
Yeah.
Wrapping the chickens up, putting them in crates, whatever it is, been so helpful.
Not torturing the chickens, wrapping them up, but just
No, like
because we're
when they're
working with
injured or
them.
flipping
I just
heat
wanted to
exhaust.
be more specific.
Okay.
Yeah. And all of these things will then create that gratitude
Mhm.
because you're sharing, you're giving, and then someone is going to be grateful for you, and then
Mhm.
you're going to feel grateful because you were able to do something nice for someone else.
Yeah.
And so it's not just the law of attraction, but it's also the pay it forward.
Yeah.
And that's so important. And
Yeah.
I've always loved, that's one of my most favorite things, is the pay it forward. If
Yeah.
somebody does something nice for you, do something nice for somebody else. You can do that for that person as well, but you can also pay it forward.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Let me ask you a question. I feel like I have like two different states of gratitude. There's like the normal everyday state of gratitude, and then there's like, I am so grateful. I feel like my energy is going to burst into a million pieces, and I have to tell everyone and everything how grateful I am for them because the gratitude is literally spilling out of my body.
Yes.
Do you have those two separate states too?
Yeah, I would think that is more bliss and euphoria. I
Interesting.
mean,
Okay.
that's and I don't know where that came from. So thank you. That it just came through me. But I would consider that more bliss and euphoria
Yeah.
when you're in such a state of gratitude and you've been able to hold it for a certain amount of time and you've been able to reciprocate
Mm-hmm.
and enhance it,
Yeah.
build upon it. I think that that's when we can get ourselves to that even higher level of gratitude.
Yeah. That's like the best feeling place ever. If
Oh,
you've not felt it in a while, figure out how to get yourself there because that state of bliss, great gratitude, love, appreciation is chef's kiss.
do you remember what was happening when you were feeling that way?
I think I had like a really good day where it's usually when I'm very productive and my energy goes up and I
Mhm.
feel because that's like my peak feeling good about myself is peak productivity. That may not be right for everybody, but for me, it's even in my astrology that productivity is something that's very important to me. So when I am super productive, I feel great about myself and then I feel great about the world. I feel great about everybody else. And that's where it's like just a culmination of positive energy.
It's not even a trickle up or a trickle down, it's just a trickle out.
It's like my productivity like explodes and becomes just absolute pure gratitude.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I love
And that's
that.
why I love what I do is because operations is literally the epitome of that.
Yeah.
A good day in operations is a great day for productivity.
So, anybody want to share what what puts you in that state of gratitude or thankfulness that
What
then
does it for
brings
you?
out? When I, such a great question. Somebody asked me a question the other day, and I was like, "It's a really great question." Um, when I look around and I realize how much I imagined when I was a kid that I now am surrounded by.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's the manifestor generator in me
I was
that
just
I
thinking the same thing.
I can look around and go, I I used to dream about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I've told that story before when I was in high school and I wrote down, we were supposed to write down our obituary, which is a little weird, but it was a really cool exercise. And how would we want to be remembered? And it was, yeah, I want a husband named Michael. I was survived by my husband Michael and my daughter Krista, or I said
Wait, what did
Christina.
you just say? Oh, because your obituary. I'm going, wait, what are you talking about? Survive them.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, say that again. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
That word
That
was
I would
like
have a husband named
crazy.
Michael, and that I
Yeah.
would have a son named Michael and a daughter named Christina at the time, but everybody was named Christina. And so I, decided to make it a little cool, a little more hip. Not that Christina isn't a hip name, everybody. I just wanted
Chris is way
Christina to
cooler. We can
stand
all
out.
acknowledge and admit that. I don't even get the little cool name things at amusement parks. All right, that's pretty cool.
And then I have it printed for you and you won't use it. But that was when you were a kid. You're very smart. I'm so thankful that I had such a smart daughter that she
Yep.
refused to wear a backpack with her name on it because she knew that if a stranger danger person came up to her and called her name because they saw it on her backpack, like she was thinking about that stuff when she was 5. Interesting.
Remind me. I just thought about something related to the metaphysical world and names. Remind me when we're done.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
in summation from today's episode, focus on, quite cliche-ly, focus on the reason for the season for Thanksgiving. Focus on really taking a few moments throughout the day to be thankful for the things that are, and grateful for the things that are going on around you. Be thankful for them to then lead up to feeling gratitude for them, as we learn the distinction between the two. But really feel into that and take the time to do it, because gratitude very much is one of those things where it's so easy and so quick that we oftentimes don't even do it.
Yeah. And because you said metaphysical, I just want to touch on that. You get yourself into that euphoria, bliss, gratitude state. Your body will respond to that. You will start to feel better. Instead of focusing on, oh, my knee hurts, my back hurts, and you're going through all these different things. If you're focusing on, you know what, I don't even have to think about breathing. And I have such gratitude for my body that it functions without me even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Don't start going into the little itty bits about, I got a splinter in my finger, my hands are a little swollen, or my knee hurts, and if you focus on all of the pain, and listen, I get it. As we get older, we have pain, but if you're focusing on that metaphysically, you are then creating dis-ease in your body, and your body is going to respond to that and give you more dis-ease. So
just because this is a video on the internet, do not take that to be medical advice. Do not go to the doctor for things because of what she just said. Big distinction between the two.
yes,
Not medical advice.
absolutely. I don't play a doctor on TV. I don't pretend to be one. So yes. But yeah, also don't overeat on Thanksgiving just because there's a bunch of food on the table. But we're going to see you next week anyway before Thanksgiving. I'll give another
I'm really
reminder.
excited for next week's episode.
I'm gonna give everyone another reminder next week. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to devour it. Like, you can,
as you say, we all make choices.
We all make choices, but can we make a choice of moderation? Because y'all know you're gonna eat the tryptophan turkey, and you're all gonna pass out.
Hold on. For those that don't know, you're just coming out of left field with out of context stuff today.
I'm an Aries.
Turkey is one of many things that contain tryptophan. Tryptophan tends to make us a little bit more tired, which is why gorging on turkey means usually afterwards everyone needs a nap, is because the tryptophan builds in your system and makes you tired. Fun fact, it's also in eggs, so you can also get too tired after eating eggs, and that would indicate that you're eating too many eggs.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
No. We just found that out about eggs recently, but
we're just full of, like, really interesting information today.
That happens, they say that chickens are the gateway drug to conspiracy and knowledge, and it's true. You can't have chickens and then not keep going down the rabbit hole of truth and awareness and health and you can't. I'd like to meet one person that has not.
Yeah. And chicken math is a thing, and that'll be a whole other episode one day.
That'd be a great episode. We should just call it chicken math. I like it.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Fantastic.
Well, I think this is a great time to, wish everybody a wonderful day. Krista, where can people find you?
You can find me at wickedwisdomconsulting.com. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that good stuff. You can find this show particularly on the YouTube channel, Shockingly Delightful. You can also find it on Michelle's YouTube channel, Moksha Grace. I think it's at Moksha Grace Coaching on YouTube.
Yes.
Where can they find you, speaking of Moksha Grace?
Mokshagrace.com. Definitely. That's where you can find everything. But to break it down for a couple different things that I have offerings. Number one, Moment of Presence is on Thursday. We're going to be talking about just laugh it off. Like, seriously, when you get triggered for this holiday season, just laugh it off. Like, just don't allow yourself to react. Just laugh it off. But we'll go into more of that. And then Thursday nights, also, we're going to continue the conversation from Moment of Presence every week. And we're going to go deeper into that conversation in the Odonata community. And that is a group coaching monthly subscription. So you can join up. There's group coaching. We talk about a topic. We talk what's on your mind. You get coached about it from me. I'm actually there. And so we have a lot of fun in Odonata.
And real quick, and also there's no like intro call. You're not going to be upsold on anything because like that's, typically.
Just show up. And if you have something, if you have something to talk about, let's talk. And then also you can book a compatibility call and we can talk about, is there something that you want to dive into that's a bit deeper, things that you want to, a relationship that you want to address, or a situation about yourself that, you keep hearing about, or maybe your career isn't going the way you want it.
Maybe your holidays are usually really dramatic and full of emotional upheaval.
Right. And guess what? I'll give the hint. The answer is not to expect other people to change the way they treat you. Ha.
Hint. We should really open up some additional spots for after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think so too. That might be a really good idea. And then, just find us here.
Next week, we're talking about gobble, gobble, gobble. We're going to be sharing our favorite Thanksgiving stories, and we would love for everybody to join us and share theirs in the comments, and we'll put them up on the screen. We might even invite you to come on the live. We might get crazy. Who knows?
Yeah, I want like the funniest, the best of the best.
Yeah.
Stories. Like if
they can be heartwarming. We have a couple heartwarming too. Heartwarming, funny, hilarious.
Yeah. Dog jumped on the table, ran out the door with the turkey. I mean,
oh my gosh, I just remembered another one. Let me write it down.
I can't even, but anyhow, everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day. You can also join over in the Facebook community that I have, the Facebook group, I should say. That's where we're doing the Thankful Train. Every single day, I give you a prompt so that you can bring up the thankful piece of information so you can feel the gratitude for what you're thankful for. And, we're building habits. Better routine.
See y'all later this week.
Yes. Talk to you later. Bye.